Hello everyone, welcome to the U.S. Immigration Hub. Over the years, countless families have been waiting for progress on their green card applications. It's the first step toward bringing loved ones together. Yet many are now wondering why their cases feel stuck and why USCIS timelines keep shifting without clear answers. With our continuous research, and as we step into November 2025, let's take a closer look at the latest updates on family-based green card processing. In this video, we'll go over the latest I-130 processing updates for November 2025, what's happening inside USCIS and the NVC, and what petitioners and families can realistically expect for the rest of the year.
If you are liking this video, please hit the bell button, subscribe, and like it, so that you may get updates straight to your smartphone. Now, let's get into the video.
The I-130 petition for alien relative is one of the most important forms in the U.S. immigration system. It's the first step in bringing your spouse, parent, child, or sibling to the United States. But for many families, it has also become one of the most frustrating steps because timelines keep stretching and communication from USCIS remains inconsistent. As of November 2025, new data from USCIS case trackers and attorney reports show that average processing times for I-130 petitions have increased slightly again. For U.S. citizens filing for a spouse, the average wait is now 12 to 16 months, up from around 10 to 12 months earlier this year. For lawful permanent residents sponsoring a spouse or child, the wait has reached 18 to 22 months, depending on which service center is handling the case. Some of the biggest backlogs are coming from the Texas Service Center and Nebraska Service Center, where staffing shortages and new verification procedures have caused delays in issuing approvals. By contrast, Potomac and California service centers have remained relatively stable, with some straightforward marriage-based petitions completing within a year. Part of this unevenness comes from USCIS's new internal workload balancing system, which randomly transfers petitions between centers. While the goal is efficiency, it often creates confusion as applicants receive transfer notices without clear explanations, and sometimes those transfers lead to additional months of waiting. But the delays are not just about workload. In October 2025, USCIS quietly updated its internal guidance to align I-130 processing with new relationship verification standards, the same ones being applied to marriage-based green cards. This means officers are spending more time checking supporting evidence before approving petitions, especially those involving international marriages, significant age differences, or long-distance relationships. Attorneys say this shift has already led to a surge in requests for evidence, or RFEs. These RFEs commonly ask for updated proof of the ongoing relationship, new photos, recent financial documents, or even communication logs that weren't required before. Another major factor shaping I-130 progress right now is the ripple effect from the Trump administration's renewed immigration oversight measures. Beginning in mid-2025, the administration instructed USCIS to apply stricter verification for financial sponsors under Form 1864. That's the affidavit of support required for most family petitions. Officers are now double-checking income sources, tax transcripts, and even joint sponsor documents more closely. Once approved, most cases should transfer to the NVC within 30 to 45 days. But recent reports show that some families are waiting up to 90 days or longer for their case numbers and welcome letters to arrive. The National Visa Center itself is also dealing with an unprecedented backlog. Countries like India, the Philippines, and Mexico continue to experience the longest delays. Some families who were documentarily qualified months ago are still waiting for interviews simply because their local embassy cannot handle the volume. So, what can families expect going forward into December and early 2026? The short answer: slow but steady movement with more scrutiny, but also more digital modernization behind the scenes. USCIS has been expanding its online case management system, which will eventually reduce mailing delays and automate some of the document checks that currently slow down I-130 adjudications. By mid-2026, the agency plans to have all I-130 filings processed electronically through its upgraded ELIS system. Applicants should also be aware of the impact of security and fraud screening delays. These checks happen behind the scenes and, while they're rarely discussed, they account for a significant portion of the processing time. It's also worth noting that not all I-130 petitions are delayed. Cases involving immediate relatives of United States citizens, such as spouses, unmarried children under 21, and parents, remain prioritized. But for family preference categories like F2, AF3, and F4, the visa bulletin cutoff dates are still the biggest obstacle. Even with an approved I-130, these applicants must wait until their priority date becomes current before moving to the next step. The November 2025 visa bulletin showed very limited forward movement for family categories, especially for F2A and F3. If you are waiting on your I-130 approval, here's what immigration attorneys are recommending this month. First, log into your USCIS online account and check your case status weekly. Sometimes transfer or action updates appear online before physical mail is sent. Second, if your case is outside the posted processing time for your service center, submit a case inquiry through the USCIS website. This can trigger internal review and occasionally speed up stalled cases. Third, make sure all contact details and addresses are updated in your USCIS account, especially if you've moved, as mail delays or misdirected notices are still one of the most common reasons for lost progress. And finally, don't ignore your email. Many applicants are now receiving RFE notifications digitally rather than by physical mail, and missing that window could set you back months. For those already at the NVC stage, stay alert for document expiration. Medical exams, police certificates, and financial forms can all expire while waiting for interviews. The bottom line for November 2025 is this: the I-130 process continues to move, but with more checkpoints and slower timelines. USCIS is trying to balance modernization with oversight, and that balance is slowing approvals temporarily. But every day thousands of petitions are still being approved and moving forward. It's a slower system, not a broken one. So, while frustration is understandable, patience, preparation, and awareness remain the strongest tools families can have. That's all we have for this bulletin. The U.S. Immigration News Channel provides all necessary visa information and procedures for your U.S. immigration journey. It is important to understand the United States immigration processing steps, visa application requirements, processing times, forms, fees, and more. We will continue to provide all information about U.S. visitor visas such as B1 and B2, work visas such as L1A, L1B, and H1B, student visas, green cards, immigrant visas, EB1, EB2, EB3, EB4, and EB5, and family immigrant visas. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the U.S. Immigration Hub channel. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.